guys, it's Erin, Liana, and Bailey. And last weekend it was raining and we're in California, so of course we stayed inside and didn't work on our build. But what we did do instead of building was spend a little bit more time thinking about our van layout and kind of researching the next steps of our build. And really this probably should have been video one of talking about our layout and what we're thinking and what we're planning. But honestly, we didn't quite figure out our full kind of like van layout plans until last weekend. And we figured this is also a good time to share a bit more about us and also connect with you guys. We kind of were just really excited and jumped right into the building. But we would love to connect if any of you guys are building vans also, or dreaming about van life, or maybe you've done van life already, especially if you're doing it with a doggo. Have any tips? Yeah, something we're really excited about and hoping to connect more with all of you guys. So yeah, we figured we'd share a little bit about us. Do you want to tell everyone how we met?
So we met in 2015. At school, we both went to the same university up north in the Bay Area. Then we got married in 2020. That's when we got little Bailey bums. And she's probably the primary reason why we're doing van life, right?
Yeah.
Having a dog, you kind of have some responsibilities to them, and they can't always go everywhere.
It's hard to travel with them. It's hard to find like cost-friendly, dog-friendly hotels. I think there's a lot of restrictions, so anytime we're traveling, it's just a lot harder with the dog to find flights and also have her comfortable there. So we thought, because we love traveling, it would be great to have a van, a place she can feel comfortable in, and then no matter where we want to visit, we don't have to search for dog-friendly hotels. And now she decided it's a great time for a nap. You'll see in a lot of videos she's just always napping in this bed. She's a very sleepy dog.
So yeah, realistically we're just doing it for Bailey. This is Bailey's van.
We don't have anything built yet, obviously, but we'll kind of walk you through what we're thinking for our layout and kind of what we envision. So imagine with us. Alright, so welcome to our imaginary van tour. So in the back area here, we are going to do a convertible bed to dinette. It's really important to us, being in a small space, to be able to transform the space that we're in between like a nighttime layout and a daytime layout. We live in a studio right now that's pretty small. It's 400 square feet, and we kind of do the same thing already with our couch. We have a bed mode and a day mode, so we're not too worried about having to actually make the bed every night or turn it into couch mode during the day.
Yeah, we've already been training for it.
Yeah, we're training. We're prepping. And I think that will really help open up this space. And then this also kind of leads to like why we got a Ford Transit high roof. Ford Transits are the tallest of the typical models that you see people using for van life. So Ford Transit was at 6'7"?
Probably about 7 feet tall, yeah. Is that what the question was? Yeah, so it's about 7 feet tall. I think your cargo area is right around 10 feet, and then your width is right around 5.5 feet.
I don't know. We'll share dimensions, but it's the tallest of the models compared to like Sprinters or the ProMaster. So since we're gonna have kind of the bench and bed layout, we're not doing the fixed bed with the garage style. We'll have overhead cabinets here, so we're thinking we'll be able to sit and have enough headspace in between where our bench seats will be and where our overhead cabinets will start. So come along with me, we'll talk about the driver's side. So after our bed, we're planning to have a fridge right around this middle area. We'll have a little area on the bottom for our water heater, and then we'll have some storage that we can use up here. So we'll have the overhead cabinets, and then we'll have kind of a bigger storage area right here. Continuing on in our imaginary van tour, we are planning to have a shower here. And I know this is a highly debated topic, whether or not to have a shower inside of your van, but we really wanted, well, I really wanted an option to be able to shower inside of the van. So we are going to use some precious space to put a shower right here. And then we'll see. We're thinking of doing kind of like a very skinny, tall closet all the way down on this end, maybe to hang a few things or just have some tall items that don't fit elsewhere. So we're gonna try to squeeze in like a really skinny closet over here, but we'll see how that goes. All right, up here, it's a little covered now, but we have our headliner shelf, so we'll use this for some extra storage. And then we have our swivel seat, and that'll just be another seating area in case someone is staying in bed. Someone can come over here and enjoy coffee or hang out in the morning. Or if we just need separate space, you know, maybe we don't want to be like right next to each other every second of every day. We can say, go to your side of the van. Okay, so obviously door here. And then if you look at the tape on the bottom, this is about where we are expecting our kitchen cabinet to come out to. And one second, I'm gonna put Bailey down because she's getting heavy.
She's only 12 pounds.
You're good. See, it's Bailey's swivel seat. Alright, so if you look down here at the blue tape, this is about where we expect our kitchen cabinet to come out to. So I'll go around here. So it does kind of overhang this step a little bit. We might utilize the space under the step for like shoe storage or something like that. We'll have a sink here, and then we're still kind of playing around with what the cabinets will look like. We really like the idea of having a pull-out pantry, like those skinny ones that kind of pull out. That way we can put a bunch of like cans and different seasonings and stuff in it. Okay, Bailey needs to be held. She can't handle being on her own. Okay. All right. We'll have a little bit of counter space right here next to the sink. And then our overhead cabinets will start again here. So we'll have more storage up here for more clothes and just different things that we need. And then we're back to the dinette bed area. And then one more thing that we didn't talk about yet, if we hop out of the van. The other thing that we're thinking of is with our convertible bed to dinette, we are thinking of having it really be like U-shaped. So we'll have an area right here of the bench that you can actually open from the back. And that way we'll have a small garage space that we can use to put some of our like more outdoorsy things in it, like hiking shoes or backpacking things, and kind of keep that back here. But most of our storage will be accessible from inside of the van. So that'll be our little space. And then under the bench seats on each side, we'll have, I think, the water tanks on this side, and then we'll have the batteries and all the electrical housed under this bench. So
yeah, it's going to be a tight squeeze. The utilities take up a lot of space. We have a 33-gallon freshwater tank that's going to go right underneath this left side dinette. And that's pretty much the entirety of that space.
Yeah.
Then we have 4 100 amp hour batteries on the right with a big inverter. Also going to be a tight squeeze.
Yeah. Last weekend we spent a lot of time getting a bit more granular into our layout. We knew a lot of things that we wanted in the van, but we didn't really get specific into how all of those things were going to fit. And we're kind of finding that not everything will fit in the size of van that we have. So we're going to have to kind of compromise and give some things up, and others just get creative with our space. So yeah, you walk them through the kind of like 3D layout.
Yeah, sure. Let's jump right into it. For our CAD, we used Tinkercad. It was just a free online software that we could use. And it's been very helpful. I've never used a 3D CAD before, so there was a little bit of learning involved. But for the most part, we're making it work. So one of the limitations with this Tinkercad is I think that it's made for like 3D printing stuff. So you won't actually be able to do like a one scale by the inch for an entire van. So what I've ended up doing is saying that 1 millimeter equals 1 inch. So for the most part, everything's to scale. There are some things that aren't, like these little bump outs. Obviously there's little curvatures and random contours that we didn't account for in here. But everything is square at this current point. And yeah, this is our current layout. So you can see our bench with our seats. We got a table that'll drop down to make the missing bed platform. That's pretty common everywhere. And then underneath each of these benches, we'll have various compartments. So we have water on the driver's side, electrical on the passenger side. These locations of the batteries and our inverter aren't final yet. So those will move around. So this is what it's going to look like. And it's been very helpful just kind of doing a bunch of what ifs or how abouts and seeing what the actual meaning of it is. If you make this change, what do we have to get rid of? So for example, like our fridge, we've been playing around with the different dimensions of fridges, and then if we wanted to fit a certain size fridge, then we would get rid of this counter space, and we'd have to elevate it so much. But yeah, so there's our bench seats, our dinette. Our overhead cabinets will have 2 on the left, 3 on the right that are slightly smaller. Zooming in a little bit, we have our galley and our kitchen countertop. Got 3 different drawers and some handles. There's our sink. We'll have a pull-out induction stove, some outlets and various switches. On the left, you have our control panel where we'll have like our inverter, our Renogy hub, sea level, our easy start for our S-bar heater, switches and outlets, fridge, shower, and then yeah, here's our entry area with our step. We'll have some fold-up tables, and then this gets into like our headliner. Here is a little curtain that separates the driving area from the cargo area, and that's pretty much it. And the other thing that we've been using CAD for is kind of just mocking up our electrical appliances, exactly like where things need to go. And so our lighting situation, our electrical situation is pretty easy to see this way. So everything in yellow is DC, everything in green is our AC. And then as you can see, I've been like testing a bunch of different battery layouts. But I think ultimately this is probably closest to what our electrical system would look like. So yeah, our inverters here, it's 3,000 watts. It's pretty massive. It's one of the Rego by Renogy ones. You have our solar controller, our B2B, our DC to DC charger, batteries, and then here is kind of like our distribution for both AC and DC. And then on the left we have our tank. It'll sit over the wheel well. You can kind of see through this wall here. This is our water heater, just a Bosch 2.5 gallon. We'll have a AC plug here because this just takes your typical household plug. Switches for our lighting, outlets for various charging reasons. Underneath our little bump outs, we have our lighting. We'll be using LED lights. Here's our control panel with our hubs and controllers. Then more switches and an AC outlet for any kitchen stuff. Then in the very front, we have our house battery. Oh, behind the curtain, our S-bar heater, random puck light here, I forgot that I need to add 4 running down the center so that we have our main lighting. There's a pump for our water. We got this strip here. This is just an estimate right now. We don't actually have these in yet, but these are sea level tank sensors for both our freshwater and then our undermounted gray water. And it's been very helpful just to keep track of where things need to get power. And some of the things that we also have to think about is, like, if we want these to be 3 ways, then there has to be some sort of connection directly between the 2 switches. And then there's other fun stuff in here too. So here's our water model. It basically just has the water appliances drawn up here. So you have our tank, you have the inlet to fill the tank, air release. These will ultimately meet up at the same kind of fill port. Then down here is our freshwater line, runs into this filter, to the pump, accumulator, and then this has been very helpful in seeing what fittings we actually need and where and how many. So here I have like 2 elbows, for example. Goes into our heater. The red side, or the blue side, goes into the heater. There is the hot water that comes out of it. Blue side continues into our little break-off area. Got some ball valves. PEX runs across the van, as you saw in another video, runs over to our kitchen sink. This side goes to our shower. And then I'm still working on something like our gray water. So I still have to figure that part out. And also figure out exactly where our gray water tank's going to go. So it's been very helpful just seeing if we're running into any issues and trying to avoid them, or seeing if we have any design flaws that we didn't account for.
Anyway, that's our van tour. Hope you were able to picture it and enjoy it with us. And we will see how close our actual build is compared to our vision that we just displayed. So stay tuned.